The 2nd of July is the deadline for the political action group Let's Go Washington to turn in all those sheets, all those petitions. They've been out gathering signatures for several weeks now. Only really not that many weeks. I can't remember when they started, but it was a very narrow window for them, very small amount of time to gather signatures in hopes of repealing the newly passed income tax. So tomorrow they will be gathering in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, at the office of Secretary of State Steve Hobbs. And I've been down there for other petition dumps. They show up with their trucks, their vans full of these gigantic boxes and offload them in. The boxes are all, listing how many petitions are in there, how many roughly signatures are in each box. They have to turn in 308,911 signatures again by tomorrow's deadline. And it sounds like that is a doable thing at this point because I've been seeing kind of weekly or at least bi-weekly reports from Let's Go Washington of how many they have gathered. I do anticipate there will be people turning in petitions tomorrow, showing up at the event in Tumwater, maybe just because they want to be there for the event, but also having those last minute petitions that have been sitting on the kitchen table for days or weeks and they want to get those turned in. So that can happen tomorrow. You may recall, again, I want to give you a little bit of background to repeal the measure to repeal the newly passed income tax would qualify for the November ballot if, in fact, they have enough signatures. Now, a few weeks ago, Let's Go Washington's Darren Littell, I spoke with him about, the signature gathering effort. We talked a little bit about some of the ongoing harassment, vandalism for folks out gathering signatures, just like we saw the last couple of years with other Let's Go Washington petition drives. And I asked him about preparations for the statements that will be alongside this measure on the ballot and also will appear in the voter's guide. And he said it turns out those ballot statements and those statements that are in the voter's guide and online voter's guide as well are really important.
The statements actually come down to they're very important. A lot of people read them. We've done testing on it to see how many people read them and the kind of impact that it has on their vote. And people actually do a lot of research, which I think is good. I think that more informed people are when they go to cast their ballot, the better off they are. So, crafting these statements is a critical part of the election and making sure that they're done well and factually accurate, I think are really important pieces of it.
And I know we are in the height of summer. We've got our nation's 250th coming up this weekend. Everybody is just thinking about fun in the sun, but we are only 4 months away from the November election. And again, tomorrow in Tumwater is a critical day for Let's Go Washington and their supporters to turn in those petitions and find out if, in fact, they have enough signatures to qualify. They try to turn in way more than the 309,000 necessary because, of course, there are people that accidentally sign or on purpose sign twice, or people that aren't registered voters and think they can still sign. Some signatures that just don't match what the Secretary of State has on file for your voter signature. So lots of them get thrown out. So they're hoping to turn in a lot more than the 309,000 needed to qualify the measure for the fall ballot. But we will be there in Tumwater tomorrow. We will bring you exclusive updates on that. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Of course, now, though, once they do qualify, begins the big time campaign from opponents who have amassed a giant war chest to campaign against not only the income tax repeal attempt, but the other two initiatives that will be on the fall ballot. Those are the restoration of parental rights and the initiative to protect girls in sports. So if the income tax repeal gets qualified, we're going to have three initiatives on that November ballot. So that's a wrap on today's episode of Washington in Focus Daily. As always, thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you again tomorrow.